Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I have both some really big news and a really fun challenge to share with you. There's a lot of background noise today in my home. There's a few projects that my husband's working on, and they all involve loud things, including vacuum cleaners. He's also watching a football game, so if you hear any noise in the background, that's what's going on. So in one of my most recent videos, I announced that I was no longer going to be making or selling herbal products through my website. And I alluded that there was a new project that I needed to make space for in my life because there's only so many hours in the day, right? And today I'm finally able to share that new project with you. And so the new project is called My Grounded Home. And it's something that I'm really passionate about and really excited to bring into the world because I think a lot of people are going to resonate with it and really find it to be an amazing, useful tool and a really cool community. So what is it exactly? Now, My Grounded Home is not only my project. I am co-piloting this with my friend Caitlin Scott, who lives out in Alberta. She has a 20-acre homestead out there, and here in Ontario, I homestead on about a half acre. And the two of us were chatting one day and realized that there was a really big gap in homesteading information for the newcomer. You know, you log on to YouTube and you find all these people who have cattle and are raising pigs and have all these chickens, and they have these really productive, amazing homesteads, which can seem really intimidating for people who have small lots, live in apartments, have never canned anything in their lives, and are just starting out. So My Grounded Home is a digital magazine as well as an online community. And we actually do run some live classes in it as well. So it's a really, really great tool. And what I'm sharing with you today is actually a project that is out of our first edition of My Grounded Home. So our first edition came out back in December, and we were kind of just beta testing it at that point. So the people who were a part of Caitlin's monthly membership platform and my monthly membership platform were the ones who really got the first sneak peek, told us where all the bugs and the problems were, gave us the feedback, so we could then launch it to our general audiences. Now, what's really neat about the first issue of My Grounded Home is it's completely free. So if you want to snag your copy, you just look into the description below and you can grab your free copy and see what it's all about and see what it is that we're sharing with the world. But the challenge that I have for myself and for you today is our pantry cleanup and our pantry challenge. So behind me here is the pantry that I have in my kitchen. Now, I'm fortunate, I kind of have two pantries. When we moved here, we realized that this space was a little bit small for the dreams, hopes, and aspirations that we had. So we built a pantry out in the garage, and that is where all of my dried herbs are, my bulk food, and all of my canning. It's out in the garage. But I have this kitchen pantry in here that is an absolute disaster. And so what I'm telling you now, first, be kind in the comments. I have not pre-cleaned this. You know how sometimes I've never had a house cleaner, but I've heard people pre-clean their house before the house cleaner comes so they're not horribly mortified by the state. I have not pre-cleaned this. I have not pulled items out. This is exactly what it looks like. So the challenge is to get you to clean out your pantries, see what's in there, wipe it all down using our free recipe for an all-purpose cleaner. That's what I'll be using to wipe down the shelves, and that is also available in the first issue of My Grounded Home. And then put it back in a way that's organized and makes sense. So one of my main goals is to actually have one of everything that I have out in my garage pantry in my kitchen pantry. So that way, when I use it from here, I go out in the garage to restock it, and that gives me an idea of what my stock levels are out there, and I know whether I need to get to canning or ordering. So I'm going to turn the camera around. Again, please be kind in the comments. I have not pre-screened this, and you're going to see the disaster that is my indoor kitchen pantry. Okay, now that I've opened the drawers, I'm somewhat regretting not pre-cleaning it, but here goes. So this is the before shot, the absolute disaster that is my kitchen pantry. Now, I mean, we haven't shopped at Walmart in probably a decade, so I can't even tell you how old these chickpeas are, okay? So, I mean, like, first things first, we're going to be getting rid of things that clearly have gone bad or stale, but what I need is better organization. And because of just the lack of organization that I have in my house in general, or just places to put things, all of my supplements are in this pantry as well. So I'm going to clear this out, get it looking really good. Right now, the most organized part is the fact that I have most of my cooking oils and vinegars up there. And then kiddo likes cereal, so we'll have like things like cereal and granola there. Other than that, it's pretty embarrassing. So I'm literally going to pull everything out from here, put it onto my kitchen island, and then get to cleaning this kitchen pantry. All right, so my counter is overflowing. There's food everywhere. But my pantry is empty. So I'm going to go in now. I've already given it a bit of a wipe down just with a wet cloth. It's been a long time since I've done this, full disclosure. So I am going to now go in with the all-purpose cleaner. Again, that recipe is free in the first issue of My Grounded Home. And I'm going to give this a really good scrub down before I figure out how I want to organize everything. So I've got the pantry all cleaned out, and it made sense to do the top shelf the way that it was before, to have all the cooking oils, except now any of the weird things that had expired or I haven't used since we moved in. I had things in this pantry that I literally brought from Beaverton to here and never used. So this is a really good exercise for me to do. And now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to organize the rest of it, what makes sense for my family and what's going to make it user-friendly for me in terms of keeping on top of ordering my bulk food, keeping things easy to find, organized, easy to use, and also helping me to go through the canned goods because most of them are in the garage. I kind of forget about them. And then we don't use them. So I figure if they're in here, we're more likely to use them on a regular basis. Okay, many hours later. This took a very long time. So some of the things that I did, of course, other than cleaning and getting rid of anything that had either gone bad or stale, is I had a lot of like loose bulk bags of spices. So I topped up my spice rack and got rid of all of those. And then everything went into jars. So I now have, and I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you kind of how I organize things. I may move things around a little bit, but I also have an idea for a laminated checklist on my fridge. I want to have 2 columns, one that's to can. So that way when I use the last broth, I know I have to make some more chicken stock and can it. When I use the last of, say like tonight, we're using the last jar of white chicken chili. I know that I have to do that. And then to purchase, I want to have a separate column of everything that I need to buy. So that way, if I go outside and I'm like, I just took the last olive oil, I can just write olive oil on that list. And I know that the next time I put either a bulk order through Organic Matters or Costco, that I have to order olive oil. So that's kind of like my next step that I want to do. And actually, now that I'm looking, I might put it right in here. That seems like a better idea. So now I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the after. So cereals, cooking oils, and vinegars all stayed at the top. And then I created a section for things that I would cook with. So I have like a organic butter chicken. I have my Thai curry paste. I've got some pasta sauces back there. A couple of Epicure things. Then I have diced tomatoes, my chickpea tomatillo hash, which is a common meal for us, broth, I think that's salt. Yeah, salt. And then our sea veggies that we use a 7 sea veggies blend when I make stock, and then all the different honeys that we have and some sweeteners. Down here I have a lot of baking items, so things like oats, cranberries, raisins, one of every type of my pie filling. So the idea is when I use one, I'll go out and grab the next. Then of course, other things that we need. These are actually for science experiments. We don't use food coloring in anything. But I've got, like peppermint extract, my milled flour, my spelt berries, that kind of stuff. All this whole row now, instead of it being broken up into 3 rows, I have supplements and all of our superfoods. So this is my homemade greens powder. I've got a video on that. My aronia berry powder. I've got maca, all kinds of good stuff. Down here, I'm calling this snack level. So this is all of our salsas, apple sauces, pickles, apple butter, and then things like crackers and other snacks that we would have. I then have all of my nuts and seeds in jars. This is where I stuck the jams because I couldn't really figure out where else to put them. And then a lot of like cooking grains, lentils, legumes, beans. And then the bottom shelf is where all of our like rice, quinoa, and different noodles are. So I am really, really happy with how this turned out. It's really organized. It makes a lot of sense. It's clean. And because I made so much space in there, I was actually able to bring almost one of everything that I can in here. So that way I don't have to always run out to the garage to grab, say, a jar of salsa. So have I inspired you to tackle your pantry as well? If you want to join me on this pantry challenge, I encourage you to grab that first free issue of my Grounded Home. It's linked below. I'm also going to put links to our Facebook page, Instagram page. Follow us there, see what we're up to, and please give us some feedback of what you think about this very first issue. The pantry challenge and the all-purpose cleaning spray that I use to clean my pantry, that recipe is in the first edition as well, along with lots of other amazing goodies. Most of our issues average around 40 pages of really, really great information. So I hope that you found this fun to tag along. Maybe it made you feel a little bit better about what your pantry looks like. But I can tell you, even though it was a Sunday and I didn't really take a day off, I decided to tackle this project. I'm so glad I did. It just makes everything so much better. It's so much more organized. So like I said, in the description below, you can get your first free issue of my Grounded Home. And until next time, this is Corinne from Spirea Herbs, wishing you happy organizing and cleaning.